We lost the Doogie because of some memory limitation. It's even lighter. Yeah, just take a look at the bars, how fast they will change. Hello and welcome back to my Small Husqvarna channel. So it's only like 3 weeks ago since I shot this video. And since then I fell totally in love with tablet navigation on motorbikes. And in my last video I described why I changed over from some smartphone device to some tablet finally. And I showed you different tablets that you can mount on your bike and which are available on the market. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper and there are much more devices on the market that I didn't know before. And later on I will also talk about some rally proven devices that I didn't know at least. But today, I told you that I fell in love with this tablet navigation, and I checked all the threads and forums in the internet, and I had 2 issues with this device, which I will talk about also later. And basically that's the reason why I changed over to the famous Carpe Iter. And the first thing will be to unbox it. So yesterday evening, of course, I took it out. I already charged it. But right now I would like to show you what comes with the Carpe Iter if you order it in a bundle. And there it is. So if you buy the Carpe Iter new, it comes in some quite nice looking bag, and you may use it for, I don't know, if you take this device to some rally events or on vacation. If you trailer your bike, for example, and you can put everything inside here. So this is quite a good idea. And if you open it up, it has like 2 compartments. So one main compartment for the tab itself and one for the smaller items. And the first item is some strap that you receive for this bag, of course, which is quite nice. And if you move on, so you get this charging device. This is strangely branded by Nokia, as you see right now here. Of course, it's USB-C. So the charging port on the Carpe Iter is a USB-C or M8 pin connector. And this one has like 5 volt, 3 amperes. Yeah, as I said, strangely it's from Nokia, but anyway, so this works. I just tested it yesterday evening. If we move on, we got this charging device for your motorbike. So there are 2 versions. There's the red version and the black version. And the red version is constantly on. So if you put this one on 12 volt, it's constantly working, and so this means if you put it on the battery directly, it will drain the battery if your bike stands still. And that's the reason why I will put it on the ignition, and if you turn on the ignition, of course it will start charging. The black version, so this will only charge or start charging if you exceed some voltage limit. So I think it's 13.5 or something volt. So if you start your bike and it starts running, so it will exceed this limit and it will automatically start charging. So, but I chose the red one because I prefer it. And if we move on, so there are some smaller items right now. Oh, a lot of paperwork. So you have your needle here to insert your SIM card and some SIM card adapters. You get some papers here that you may read. I didn't, so I will leave it just inside the bag and store it. And this one, of course, is the charging cable on your bike. This is the M8 plug that I will use definitely. As you may see right now, so you can unplug it here, or you can take off this cover, so it will protect it a bit against dust and water. And this will get into your tab, while of course the other side, this one here, will be plugged into the charger. Simple. if we move on, I think there's still more, yes. So here are some brackets that you may put on your cradle. So to hold this M8 cable, for example, so you can put it here inside so that it will not be flying around on your bike while you're riding and you're not using your Carpe Iter. Of course, there are some keys inside here to lock your cradle, and some smaller screws that I don't know about yet what to use for, but we will find out later. And there's some additional charging adapter, because the charging port of the Carpe Iter is quite narrow. I think this is the reason why they put in some extension like that. Yeah, quite nice to have it. At least I have to say I didn't use it, so this works fine for me. But yeah, anyway, they put it inside the bag, so yeah, thanks for that. This was the first compartment. So let's move on with the second compartment, and if you start to unpack it, so you will get to see this piece here. So this is of course the screen protector. The Carpe Iter, it comes with an already installed screen protector. It's a clear one. If you want to use a frosted one, so this is it. So you can change it. Yeah, it's quite nice that you have like 2 screen protectors, or one additional, and I don't know if you can see it right now here, so it's a very thick screen protector. I'm not sure if it's visible on the camera, but it's very, very thick. So yeah, one additional screen protector. And of course the last item is the Carpe Iter pad itself. Yeah, so this is it. It comes of course with the cradle that you can see right now here on the rear side, and I have to say it looks amazingly fine and very well made. So I really appreciate to have bought this item. Yeah, the cradle is pretty easy to open. So if it's unlocked, you just push this one upwards. You remove the Carpe Iter pad and you see the cradle. So if we take a look on the cradle first, this is aluminium. Later on I will put it on some scale and yeah, we'll tell you about the weight, but it's not as heavy as I expected. And yeah, if we start on the top, of course, this one is lockable yeah, arm to secure your tablet. So there are 2 springs on the rear side, so to push it or to pull it back. That's quite nice. Here you have the optional pogo pins, so you can buy this cradle with pogo pins. So on the back side, of course, of the Carpe Iter, you will find the matching pogo pins here and there. And yeah, this will be basically just installed yeah, between those 2 surfaces here. And those both pins will show off here and there. So of course this and this is for the bolt. I didn't use it. Later on I will explain why. But yeah, I didn't chose this pogo pin option. As you see, so it's vibration damped on yeah all 4 screws. So 1, 2, 3, and this one is the 4th one. And yeah, this one are the attaching points onto your bike. Later on I will show you this adapter that I have from Rade Garage back then, from my F5 Rally Kit Tower. I will use it. And yeah, this is basically it. So very, very lightweight, very sturdy, and yeah, good looking. I really love it. So looks perfect to me. This is the cradle. And of course, if we take a look on the outside of the Carpe Iter itself, so it has some power on and off button on top here, some volume control here. Then you have some compartment for an SD card, some additional one. and you have a compartment for your SIM card, so you can use it as a phone. Here you have some camera button and some SOS button. So I was not able to find if I can use them for, I don't know, apps for example, and anything, or to lock the screen. So this doesn't seem to work. Anyway, and this is some additional compartment. This is not used, and yeah, because this one is basically a kit that you can build, and later on I will talk about it. But let's first have a look on the outside, and yeah, this one is of course the back side with some logo here and the camera here, and here you have the charging port, the USB one. So everything is of course waterproof, and yeah, one of the most important thing for me is this charging connector here, and this has also some plug inside. And if you take a look, so it's 5-pin charging port. I think only like 2 pins are used from here, so because I saw it on the charging cable. But this looks perfect to me, and as you see, or as you may see, so it already has some screen protector on it, so you can see this small gap here, and yeah, perfect. I'm quite happy about it, and yeah, right now I would like to talk about what the Carpe Iter is, what's the company behind, and so let's start. Okay, so what's the Carpe Iter? The Carpe Iter is basically yeah, a smart device based on an Android platform. So yeah, basically said, so this is a tablet, a very conventional tablet at first sight, which yeah, you can unlock here, and which you can use like every other tablet. So it starts already DMD, but I don't like to. And yeah, you have your home screen, of course. You have your different apps on it. I already put some apps on it that I'm going to use, for example, DMD or Google Maps. Yeah, but basically it's a tablet. So it's nothing special, let's say right now, because you can insert some SIM card over here as well. You can use it as a phone, so you can set up your own internet connection if you're on vacation. And yeah, this is basically some tablet. What's the difference between a normal tablet and this tablet? So if you have a closer look on the outside, so you see yeah, this line here of the casing, and the casing has already been opened. So it has been opened and re-glued again. So if you take a close look all around, you can see that there are some glue rests on it. Not that much, not that it's really like important, but yeah, the backside of this rugged smartphone or this rugged tablet device has been removed, and it has been reworked. So and this is exactly what Carpe Iter, the company, does. So they will buy this kind of tablet, yeah, obviously from the Chinese or from the Asian market, and they're going to rework it. So there are a lot of tablets which are a lookalike of this Carpe Iter, or which look pretty similar. For example, you have this Carpe Iter, then you have this Wavenon's Rally Tab that you can see right now here on screen. Then you have the UTROG T71, I guess, which looks exactly the same. But if you buy these devices, so you have to know that these devices are not the same, because they have been reworked, and this is some kind of like construction kit or building kit or kit at all, which you can order according to your needs, and maybe also rebuild according to your needs. And as I said, this is exactly what Carpe Iter does. So they buy this tablet. It will be delivered to the Czech Republic, and they start to rework it. So they are going to open this casing, yeah, unscrew the rear side and remove it, because they put in this charging plug, as far as I know. So this charging plug is not standard or not used for charging solutions, as far as I know. So they have to rework that. Then they will build in another GPS chip set, which is yeah, more accurate than the one of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3. So later on we will run some GPS tests, and you can definitely see the difference between this GPS sensor or chip and the one of the yeah, Samsung Galaxy Tab Active 3. And they change the software and add some load or charging manager, so that this device will not overheat in hot condition. So this is very important. So other devices, they just charge, put in as yeah, much current as possible to charge it as fast as possible. But not with this device. So this device has a charging manager, a real one, and yeah, this will save your tablet and yeah, your navigation system against overheating. So if we take a look, you can see, for example, this Carpe Manager here. So there's this power and charge manager, and right now you can see the voltage, the temperature, the milliamps left, and the actual current that is drained from the battery. So this is very nice. Yeah, so have in mind, so if you buy this device or if you see it cheaper somewhere else, it doesn't mean that it's the same device basically. So it's a different device. It's made for motorcycling. It's according to the needs of some rally events. So this is the difference between this device and other lookalikes. And yeah, take care about that. I think, or I know that there are 3 different versions. So there's a Carpe Iter Tab version 1, version 3, and version 4. So this is version 4, and right now we are at version 4C. So this is the latest model, and I think they changed the version, so they all look the same. So the casing is nearly the same, so the buttons have changed. So right now we have like metal buttons, I think from version 4 on, or version 3, I'm not sure about. I can link a good video from Jakob Weinknecht about this tablet, and or about version 1, 3, and 4. So he has all 3 versions on the table, and will show you the differences between this tablets. This is awesome. But right now we are at version 4C, and I think a new version comes out if the hardware will have some major changes. For example, the version 1 has some internal memory of 32 gigs and some random access memory of version 3 has like 64 gigs internal memory, and I think 3 gigs random access memory, and right now we are at version number 4. And this has some internal memory of 128 gigs and has a random access memory of 8 gigs. So it's very fast. So everything feels very fluent, and so this is the difference between the different versions. So right now you can only buy version 4B and 4C. And as I told you, of course, version 4C right now, it's the latest model. And so it has the same hardware as version 4, or nearly the same hardware as version 4. And but the biggest change has been, yeah, the display. So right now you have a display of 2600 nits, and later on I will definitely compare it to this Samsung Galaxy Tab Active 3. And yeah, this is one of the biggest changes that we have right now here on the version 4C. Yeah, so that's basically a lot of information about the different version and this Carpe Iter company. And some interesting fact is that back then they worked together with I think Thork Racing, which is responsible for this drive mode dashboard and this app. Or I don't know if DMD2 is an own company and Thork was a distributor. I don't know. But it seems like DMD is not working with Carpe Iter anymore. So because they brought up their own rugged smartphone or tablet devices. For example, the T864 or 865. So you can see it right now here on screen. And later on I will tell you why I did not choose this one and why I chose that one. But anyway, you can run Drive Mode Dashboard as any other app, of course, on this device without any issue. Okay, yeah, a lot of information. So that's all about the Carpe Iter, and right now I would like to run some tests and tell you about the differences between those two devices and the advantages and disadvantages of this device over this, and of course from this device over that device. So if you like to hear me talking a lot, just stay tuned and let's move on. So I would like to start to talk about the advantages of the Samsung. And yeah, if we take a look on the Samsung, so one of the advantages of this device is that it has this real physical buttons down here. So I really love them. So basically you can use it with your gloves without any issue. They have a good push feeling in the end, so you can call up all the apps, you can close all of them at the same time. You can go back if you have opened some app and you use just this button, so this works perfectly fine for me. I would have loved if this device also would have had some physical buttons, and yeah, this is one of the advantages from the Samsung against the Carpe Iter. Also, if we take a look at the design, so it has a very sleek design. It's very thin as well, so if you compare this to that, so you immediately see a big difference between both devices. In terms of size, so both devices have the same size regarding the width, but the Carpe Iter is a bit smaller, so maybe I can just take some other angle from top right now so that you may see it a bit better. So it's a bit shorter. Yeah, so the design of this one, so it's it's good looking in the end. So this looks like a bit old-fashioned, so this may have been some advantage of the Samsung over the Carpe Iter, but I have to admit I like this design pretty much. So if we talk about the advantages, of course it's also the weight. So I also already put some scale here, so let's set it back to 0. So if you put this one on the scale, so later on I will weight the complete systems once if I have removed my cradle, my old one, from my bike. But right now let's just compare the tablets with the protective casing. So if we put this one on the scale, it has like 535 gram, and this one has like 635. 635 too? What was it? Yeah, 545. 35. So it's really like 100 gram difference between those both devices. And I even think that's not that much. Okay, I put this hook on it, but this is like plastic. This is nothing. So I would have expected some bigger weight difference, but yeah. Anyway, so this one really feels lighter as it looks. So if you receive it and you put it out from the box, so it will definitely feel much lighter as you would expect it. So yeah, 100 gram difference between the Samsung Active Tab 3 versus the Carpe Iter. Another big advantage, of course, of this device here, so it's running out of battery right now, so that's the reason why the screen gets darker, is the size of the display and the screen. So we have an 8-inch tablet versus 7-inch tablet here. So you can see that you have like a bigger screen on the Tab 3. So this is quite nice to have it, but I have to admit I did not write any I did not ride it yet on my motorbike, or I did not check it, but I think for me, so right now the 7-inch looks fine, and also due to the fact that it's a bit shorter than this one, this will fit better into my cockpit. So of course a bigger screen is always better than the smaller one. But anyway, I think I can live with a difference of 1 inch, and but this is definitely an advantage of your Samsung Active Tab 3 over the Carpe Iter. And I think the last advantage of the Samsung is that it's cheaper if you buy it refurbished. So I paid for this one 150 and refurbished, and I think new it's about 450, 430 approximately. So this is quite expensive for this device. Unfortunately, you won't find this device used or even refurbished. So your only option is to buy it brand new. So yeah, that's the advantage of the Samsung against the Carpe Iter. And one of the last advantages may be that you can change the battery of the Active Tab 3 very easily. So you just remove this skin around here. On the back side you have a lid, you just open this lid and you take out the battery and put in a new battery once your battery is broken. This is also some advantage from the Samsung Active Tab. And here you can do it because it's glued, it's sealed, it's bolted, and so this is a yeah, rugged smartphone device or rugged tablet device. So you will not be able to change the battery that easily. Yeah, that's about the advantages of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 versus the Carpe Iter. If we start to talk about the disadvantages of the Tab 3 versus the Carpe Iter C iPad, it's definitely the brightness. So as you can see right now here, so this Tab 3 is already running in full brightness, so it's 100%. And while the Carpe Iter is running at 0%, as you can see here on the screen, or if you may see it, I don't know. And if you turn up the brightness of the Carpe Iter, of course this is quite a difference. So you can read it in direct sunlight, and you even have some ultra brightness mode, which you can activate here. So it's going to warn you about that your battery will be drained much faster. Yes, of course. So you check it, and then you have this ultra bright mode. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not, but the difference between the brightness is amazingly huge. So yeah, I have to set it back to 0% so that we can see at least both screens here. Yeah, this is one of the disadvantages. This one has 500 nits, and this one right now has in version 4C that we have right now here on the table, 2600 nits. So that's a major disadvantage of the Tab versus the C iPad. Another disadvantage of the Samsung is that you have half of the capacity of a battery as a C iPad. So this one comes with 5000 milliampere hour with a battery of 5000 milliampere hours, and this one comes with a battery of 10,000 milliampere hours. Later on I will try to run some tests and to see how much percentage will be drained by each device in full brightness mode while you are running DMD, for example. And yeah, you can see later on maybe a difference. So that's a disadvantage of the Tab 3 versus this one, the battery. And the last one is that, yeah, it's already shown here. So this USB-C charging solution. So this is for me some major disadvantage from the Tab 3 versus the iPad, because here you have this M8 charging plug, so you connect it, and this I simply don't like it. So it doesn't feel good, so it shakes, it can get damaged due to vibrations. Read a lot of issues from other drivers that they had some issues, that they had issues getting water inside the USB port, and that you simply cannot use this device in rain. It may occur. So some people told me, okay, it works fine. So I've been in rain a complete day, and it worked out fine for me. Other people said, okay, it doesn't work. So this was a major reason also why I changed over to this device, because I wanted to have this M8 charging plug and not this very fragile looking USB-C port, and I simply don't like it. So these have been the reasons why I changed over to this one, because the brightness, because I tested it in full sunlight, and yeah, it was okay. And also in my last video I mentioned that 400 or 500 nits would be fine for me. But if you have a large display and it's not bright enough, it's kind of a headache. So that's the reason why I changed to this device, because I wanted to have a brighter display and I wanted to have a very reliable charging solution, because this is not reliable for me and I don't have that much vacation and each year. So if I go out with my bike riding, it should work for 100%. I don't like to have a day off because water is getting inside my USB-C port. That's basically the reason, yeah, why I changed over, as I told you, and right now I'm pretty happy to have this one. But anyway, this is still a good device. If you're riding it maybe on street or TET, it may work. I don't know. I read some threads and pages where they have shown the amount of broken Samsung devices, and watch had gone broken, and mostly it was the USB-C port. So you may have the chance also to put it or to charge it via pogo pins, as you can see right now here on the side. So it has pogo pins. But as I got to know, this should be at least the last option to charge your device if you go going off-road. So Carpe Iter states it on their homepage. So if you are the option to choose this pogo pins, they say, okay, are you sure about to choose those pogo pins? If you are going in harsh off-road condition, please don't use those pogo pins. Terra Pirata, another page, is also stating that these pogo pins should be the last solution to use if you're going off-road. And also the comments on my last video, or beneath my last video, a lot of guys also stated that they had issues with this pogo pin charging solution. In the beginning I thought it would be quite nice to have this solution and to have a cradle which supports these pogo pins. But right now I learned about that you should not use it in off-road condition. So the only way to charge it is the USB-C port, and somehow this is a no-go for me. It just don't feel right, and yeah. That's about the disadvantages of the Samsung Galaxy Tab Active 3 versus the Carpe Iter. Okay, let's run through the advantages of the Carpe Iter. And yeah, as you just saw before, obviously it's the bright display, so it has like 2600 nits in overdrive mode, and I think 2200 if you just put it to 100%, and so this is more than enough, so you can read it in full sunlight. That's a major advantage against the Tab 3. Yeah, next advantage is that you can charge it, of course, with the M8 plug down here. So this is a very reliable charging solution, which is not going to get broken that fast. And yeah, this is simply one of the biggest advantages against some other tablet. So yeah, this M8 charging solution. What's the next advantage? Yes, so this one has another GPS chip inside. So as I told you in the beginning, so they opened this this box and or the the tablet and inserted some new GPS chip inside. So this GPS chip is able to update like up to 5 hertz. So this means every 200 milliseconds you get some update with your on your GPS position. So this is much faster as the one of the Samsung Galaxy, and yeah, so it's more precise. Later on we will run some GPS tests. You can see that this will be more precise than this one, and this comes into play if you may like to record tracks. So this track will be more accurate. So it's simply a better chip inside as on the Samsung. The internal memory, so this one has a memory of 128 gigs, and this one has like 64. I'm not even sure if you can buy this Tab 3 in the 128 version. If yes, of course it's getting more expensive, but this here already comes with 128 gigs. So you can download all the maps that you need on DMD or on Google Maps without any issues. So advantage for the Carpe Iter. Next advantage is that it has the big battery. So it has a capacity of 10,000 mAh against 5,000 mAh. So even if you lose your charging solution, which I really doubt, you're going to run this tablet at least for a few hours. Later on I will test it and calculate how long you can run this tablet with Drive Mode Dashboard. Yeah, so 10,000 mAh versus 5,000 mAh. Next advantage is that it is completely waterproofed. So it has an IP rating of 67. All those ports are completely sealed, and yeah, I showed you in the beginning the different ports and buttons. So there's no chance of getting water inside your tablet and yeah, just turning it off or turning off the charging solution. So major advantage of the Carpe Iter. And the last one is that this one has some charging manager, and so the charging manager will regulate the current that this device will be charged with, and so this will protect it against overheating. So yeah, you may know if you leave your smartphone device in the sun in the car, for example, it will turn off automatically. So this should not happen with this one while you are charging it, because you're putting a lot of heat inside this device. So it will control the current, and yeah, hopefully it will stay on, of course. So this is what they state, and I believe them. So this is a big advantage of the Carpe Iter versus the Tab 3. Yeah, I think this is all about the advantages of this device over that one, and right now let's go to the disadvantages. And if we talk about the disadvantages, of course, yeah, as we just saw, it's the weight. So this is 100 grams more than this one. You may recognize it, but I think in addition with this holder, so it may get even a bit heavier than this setup. Yeah, that's the disadvantage of the Carpe Iter. The next disadvantage would be the price, of course. This is quite expensive, as you know, and but I hope I will buy it just for once and will keep it the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not sure, but this is at least my hope. And the last disadvantage of this device was I read about that on Android 9, right now we are at Android 13. At Android 9 they had some issues at some devices with apps that they cannot or could not be installed and downloaded. But so I installed all the apps that I needed, and I did not encounter any issue with this device. So up to now, this is working fine for me, but I just wanted to mention it. On the former versions, there have been some issues with apps and downloads, and if you know any other disadvantage of any of those devices or any yeah, disadvantage, just let me know, write it in the comments. I would like to know about that, because I'm quite interested right now in this tablet, motorcycle navigation topic. And yeah, if you have any hints or ideas about advantages, disadvantages, just let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's start with the test of those three devices. And as you see right now, I connected the power supply on each device, and each device is fully charged up to 100%, as you see. And right now I will remove the power connection, or the charging cable, of course, of all three devices. And I already set all those devices to 100%. So this is 100%, this is 100%, not in full brightness, not in this overdrive mode. And this is also 100%. So you may recognize a slight difference between the displays. And I would like to roam around for about one hour. Later on inside the car I will start the timer. Oh no, I would start the timer when I remove those cables here. And we'll check how much percentage of the battery will be drained at 100% full brightness for 1 hour. And then we can recalculate how long these devices will last if you lose the power supply, and yeah, or if water gets into your connector and your device doesn't charge, how far you will get at least. Okay, let's start. Okay, start the timer, 1 hour. Let's remove the power supply of each device and leave them running for 1 hour, and let's see how much will be drained. Okay, 30 minutes have passed by, as you see over here. We are down at 88% on the Tab 3, and we are down at 95% on the Carpe Iter. We lost the Doogie because of some memory limitation, because of too many GPX files on it. Anyway, 30 minutes to go. Let's go. Okay, so 1 hour has nearly passed by. So let's wait for the last 4 seconds. Okay, and let's check. So we are down at 77% on the Samsung, and we are down to 88% on the Carpe Iter. What I will do right now is I will set back both devices to the lowest brightness, and then I will head back home, and yeah, let's see how much percentage of the battery will be drained yeah, in low light or in the lowest brightness. So I will set this one back to, okay, it's nearly completely off, but yes, okay. And we will set this one also back to 0%. And I will change the destination right now, start the timer, we'll go back home, and we will talk about the results later on back at my home. Both devices are ready right now, so we start at 76% on the Tab 3 and at 88% on the Carpe Iter. Let's wait, I need to set the timer, of course, and then we are going to start. Okay, so I'm nearly home, and another hour has passed by, and we are down at 63 and 80%. So yeah, let's just go back home, calculate the values, and talk about the results. So finally back home, and yeah, I calculated the values of the capacity that has been used, and yeah, just for to remember, so we put both tablets at 100%. So right now both tablets are at 0% still, but we put them at 100%. The Tab 3 went down from 100% to 77%. So this is a consumption of 23%. And the Carpe Iter went down from 100% to 88%. So this is a drainage of the battery of 12%. This means in milliamps or milliamp hours, so that the Tab 3 used 1150 milliampere hours, and the Carpe Iter used like 1200 milliampere hours. So it's nearly the same power consumption of both devices at 100% screen brightness. So this is pretty amazing. So because this one has like 500 nits and this one has like 2600, but it was used at 100%, so not in the overdrive mode, so 2200. So 500 here on the left side against 2200 here on the right side, but the power consumption at 100% screen brightness was the same. This is quite awesome, I think. So really good job from Carpe Iter, or at least from the display manufacturer. So they claimed on their homepage that the power consumption of the Carpe Iter is not was not raised at all due to this brighter display, because they used some special LED technology, whatever. But they seem to be right. So the power consumption was really nearly the same. There was only like a difference of 50 milliamps hours. So this is like nothing. So this means if you lose your power supply of whatever reason, you can use the Tab 3 for 4.3 hours. So you can use it for, so these are only theoretical values, of course. So it depends on the app you use, on the apps that are running, on the age of the battery, and so on. So please, so these are just theoretical values. So but you could use it for 4.3 hours, the Tab 3, while you could use the Carpe Iter at 8.3 hours. So this is more than enough, I think, to get over a day of riding in case that you lose the power supply, and to find a solution, or to dry your ports. If you have forgotten to close it and it was getting wet inside this USB port, just to keep it in mind, 4 hours of running time, 8 hours of running time. So of course this one has a bigger battery, so it's not a surprise that it lasts longer, but regarding the screen brightness, this is an amazing thing, so that it will really consume the same amount of energy as the Tab 3. Of course the size is a bit smaller here, but still, so you have a very bright screen and a very low power consumption related to the Tab 3. Yes, so we also tried to decrease the brightness of the screens to 0%, and I did the same. We're driving for 1 hour at 0%. So right now both screens are at 0%. So if you take a look here, so this is barely visible. So this is really like the worst case scenario. So you want to use your Tab 3 as long as possible to get somewhere, and this is what it looks like. So you can navigate, it will navigate, but you barely see anything. So just to keep that in mind. And this one is at 0% brightness, and this is fully visible in without any issues. 0%. So the Tab 3 used 13% during 1 hour at the lowest brightness level, and the Carpe Iter used like 800 milliamp hours at 0% brightness. So this is also amazing, because you cannot see or barely see anything here, while you can perfectly see on this screen everything, every app, and of course if you have sun or anything, it's getting different or difficulty or more difficult, let's say it like that. But you can still see something. So they the power consumption on both tablets was also nearly the same at 0%. Meanwhile, you cannot see anything here, but you do on the Carpe Iter. So you could run the Tab 3 fully charged in this condition for 7.7 hours, while you could run the Carpe Iter here on the right side for 12.5 hours. And this is more than enough to get anywhere. And yeah, that's the reason why I'm quite surprised about this. So I thought the power consumption of the Carpe Iter would be much higher. I didn't expect such a good result. Quite happy to have it. And yeah, let's move on to the next test, which will be the GPS test. Okay, on to the next test, the GPS test. Yeah, as I told you in the beginning, the Carpe Iter device has a new GPS chip. So this was installed by Carpe Iter itself. So I told you that they have opened this casing of this device and put in some new chipset and closed and sealed it again. So both of these devices are working with all common satellites. So for example, the GPS, the American system, GLONASS, the Russian system, Galileo, the European satellite system, and Baidu, obviously the Asian or Chinese satellite system. The Carpe Iter is also working with AGPS, so this is assisted GPS. So this device will take also like Wi-Fi's and radio towers into account to determine your position as exact as possible. I'm not sure if the Tab 3 is doing it, but yeah, anyway. So if we run the GPS test, so I have two apps in the end. So one is called GPS test without a space and the other one with a space. So let's start with GPS test without a space. And as you see right now, you can see all those small flags here on the right side or on the left side of each screen. And so you see the American flag, the Russian flag, the Chinese flag. So this device right now receives a signal from these satellites which are around here right now. Carpe Iter, the same, so American, Russian, European and Chinese system. And yeah, right now the position will be determined, and yeah, we'll see how it will work out in the end. If we take a look into or onto the accuracy, so we are at 3.8 meters here right now and 2.8 meters here. So it's a difference of 1 meter. It doesn't sound that much, but in percentage it is definitely. And it's getting better as long as this device will run its app. It will get more accurate over time. So to visualize the frequency of or the refresh rate of this device, of the Carpe Iter, so it's easier to use this app, GPS test, because right now you see some bars and you see those bars moving, and you see on the right side that these bars moving much faster as the bars on the right side, because the refresh rate of this device is 5 Hertz, which is equal to 200 milliseconds. So each 200 milliseconds you get a new signal to calculate your position. So this is more accurate, and you can also see it in the accuracy on the top right. So we have like 4 meters on the Tab 3 and 1 meter on the Carpe Iter. So this is quite a huge difference, and yeah, just take a look at the bars, how fast they will change, and how slow this will be done here at the Samsung Tab 3. Yeah, so this is quite interesting. So the GPS is, in my opinion, better as of the Carpe Iter over the Tab 3. And if we take a look into GPS test one more time. So yeah, the difference that you can see right now here is that the tab 3 is connected to more satellites. So we have less here. But anyway, if you take a look at the accuracy, yeah, you have a difference. And so the chip of the Carpe Iter is working pretty fine. And therefore, yeah, I think that you can track much better with this device, of course, if you're going to record some tracks. And I'm happy that they changed the chip, and you can see again, if you have really a device made for some special purpose, yeah, it's just working better in different disciplines, which are quite important for this purpose. Yeah, so I think about to do another test tomorrow, maybe if the sun is shining, so I want to ride my bike and see a difference in the or between both devices in the direct sunlight. So this will be the next test, the screen brightness. Before it gets dark, I just wanted to do a quick check of the weight of the Tab 3 with its holder. So if you want to know anything about this holder in particular, you can check out my or one of my last videos. And yeah, of course, the Carpe Iter with its holder and with the depending bracket that we of course need, and the screws. So I will just put it here on top. Let's start with the Samsung. So we are at 0. Okay, I will put it on, and it's nearly 1,000. Yeah, it is 1,100 gram. So if we check the Carpe Iter system right now, it's even lighter. Okay, I did not think that it would be like really lighter, but this is exactly what I told you when I put it out of the box. So it feels much lighter as it is, not as it is, as it looks. And yeah, okay, this is amazing. So 1038 versus 1100. Let's check it again. 1100, really. Okay, yeah, this is amazing. So I even saved some gram with this system. That's quite perfect. So now you know about the weight between both systems, and yeah, their cradles or holders. Okay, it's the next day, and as you can see, the sun comes out, so this will be like perfect testing conditions for the brightness level for both devices. I also took out my old notebook because I needed this bar, because I want to assemble this holder onto this bar so that I can change in between both systems, the Carpe Iter and the Samsung Active Tab, yeah, very quickly. And I would like to test, I would like to check the weight of this roadbook from back then. And sorry, let me just put it on here. So it's 1,800 grams. So it's even what was it? I think 800 gram more. As the Carpe Iter, and this yeah, lasted very good, at least at this bar. So I have no doubts or issues that this device won't last on here. Okay, so let's yeah, assemble this piece onto that bar and get out with the motorcycle into the sun. Okay, so I'm just back from my test ride, and as you saw, I tried to ride the same length or the same distance with both tablets. I tried to keep at 40 kph. I'm not sure if I made it. I will check the footage in detail later, but I had a brief look and I saw that in some angles it was very hard to read the display of the Samsung Active Tab. While this display has been visible all the time. So it doesn't depend if the sun is coming from behind and hits the display in some specific angle or from the front. If the position will change, so you can read this display all the time, really, like 100% all the time. This was amazing. This is a disadvantage of the Samsung, so I could read it at least at 90% of the time, let's say. And if you hit some special angles, so you could see that you had a big glare on it and the display was not strong enough to work against the sun. So that's the biggest disadvantage of this one. But still, this is a good device, a good display. But so you can read this one all the time for 100%, while you can read this display at least at 90-95% of the time. So this is the biggest advantage of the Carpe Iter. Maybe if you're getting unlucky and you ride in one direction and the sun is coming directly from behind, you can't read it like for a longer time. So of course it depends where you ride, what the weather condition is, what's the angle of the sun. But anyway, with this one you can be safe, you can read it. Here you could run into problems and issues. Anyway, so I'm quite happy about this 2600 nits, so I was running it in full brightness mode, both of them obviously, and I think you can see the difference and spot the difference between both devices. Right now the Samsung is set to 100%, while the Carpe Iter is set to 40%. Just to compare it, and right now we will get to the result or the resume, and we'll talk about the tests and what I think about this tablet. Okay, so if we start to talk about the comparison of both devices and the upcoming result or resume, you can break it down maybe simply in like 1 or 2 sentences. So this one is a tablet which is used for motorcycle navigation, while this one here is a device or a tablet made specifically for motorbike or motorcycle navigation. So that's the biggest difference of both devices. And we talked a lot about the specs, of course, and you have definitely advantages. If you buy the Carpe Iter, you have this charging solution, you have the charging manager, you have the bigger battery, obviously you have this brighter screen, you have this new GPS chip, you have a completely waterproof design. It's nearly the same weight as the Samsung Active Tab 3, at least with my holder here. Or at least the system is even less than the complete system of the Samsung Active Tab 3. So there are a lot of advantages of the Carpe Iter over the Samsung Active Tab 3. Still, the Samsung Active Tab 3 is some awesome device to use it for motorbike navigation. But the Carpe Iter is a bit better in several disciplines. So at least if you pay more, you will definitely get more. And this is the good thing, so it's not like a knockoff, and so you will get a good device specifically made for motorcycle navigation, and therefore, of course, it has advantages over the Samsung Active Tab 3. Of course, if you want to go on a budget, so this device is definitely the device to go for. It's much cheaper, and it still does a very reasonable job for motorcycle navigation. But in some specific conditions, as you just saw with the GPS or with the sun on the screen, directly sun on the screen, you can definitely spot differences. So I would say that of course the Carpe Iter is better for motorcycle navigation, But I still say that the Samsung Active Tab is an awesome device and is also usable for motorcycle navigation. But if you would like to go a bit more off-road maybe, and you want to have it a bit more rugged, then the Carpe Iter is definitely the way to go. So, yeah, if you made it up to here, you are pretty much into motorcycle navigation, and therefore there's a small bonus, and it's about all the devices that I also found and that I didn't know before. So yeah, you can check it out. So far I had fun testing these devices. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. So maybe I could bring it, yeah, or I could clarify this topic Carpe Iter a bit better to you, and maybe you like this comparison. So if so, give it a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you next time. Okay, so if we start to talk about alternatives to the Carpe Iter and the Samsung Active Tab 3, we definitely need to talk about the DMD T865 and the DMD T865X. So there are two versions right now, and so I would definitely choose the X version. X stands here for extreme, and it has more nits. It has like 1000 nits versus 800 nits. Even 1000 plus, so I'm not sure what the plus stands for. Could be 1200, could be 1300, I don't know. They have a battery capacity of 8000 milliampere hours, both of them. But the X version has also some larger internal memory. It has 128 gigs instead of 64 gigs. I tried to find some specification regarding the random access memory. I only could find the specification of the non-X version, and it has 4 gigs of random access memory. So I think that the X version has the same specification, and it also uses 4 gigs, which is quite less compared to the Carpe Iter. It has like half the gigs of random access memory. And also this was some point for me to choose the Carpe Iter. Carpe Iter has also some higher brightness and also some larger battery. Still, this DMD T865 has some good points. For example, you have some pin connector from the back side, so you can directly power plug it from the back, and you can also use some controller which is directly hardwired to the tablet. So yeah, this has of course some reliability advantages over the Carpe Iter, because on the Carpe Iter you can only connect it via Bluetooth, and yeah, you know how stable Bluetooth can be sometimes, and if it's hardwired, of course you will hopefully never have any issues. So I think there's some improvement, or there can be some improvement regarding the technical specification of this tablet, and then it's getting very interesting, because right now for this quite high price of I think nearly 900 euro with a cradle, of course, it's not comparable with the Carpe Iter. So the Carpe Iter is cheaper and has the better specs, but yeah, a smaller display, and you cannot connect any controllers like hardwired. So yeah, there are some advantages and disadvantages. Anyway, I will put the link down below in my description, of course, if you want to check them out. You can have a look on their homepage, and yeah, let's move on to the next tablet. Yeah, there's also some cheap option. So it's the Crosscall T4 and T5. I never heard about this one before, but it seemed to be very popular in the amateur rally scene in Spain. So it's good as an entry level maybe. You can also get a cradle from Hesa parts if you like, and it has an 8-inch screen. It has also a quite huge battery. It has like 7000 milliampere hours, and it's around 300 euro or maybe less. The biggest downside for me would be that it only has like 450 nits, and this is for me right now too less after I experienced this Carpe Iter brightness. But still, this is maybe some good device for an entry level, and yeah, so you can check it out, and of course you can find all those links down below in my description, and have a look for those devices, and yeah, maybe you will find some tablet which suits you. Next one would be the Wavenance Ready tab, and I think this is also the tab that Ichibu is writing. So basically it's yeah, the same manufacturer as the one from Carpe Iter, but it has some older specs, and I'm not sure about the internal specs because I didn't check it in detail. I just can tell you that it has like a 7-inch screen, of course, as a Carpe Iter. It has 1000 nits as the former Carpe Iter versions as well. Yeah, it's also like dust and waterproof. Has some charger on it, but it's quite expensive. It's around 900 euro, dollar, sorry. And it will be sold from the US. So I think for the European market, it's not the best choice. You can better get the Carpe Iter from the Czech Republic without paying any yeah, customs or whatever. Yeah, but that's also some suitable off-road, suitable Ready tab that you could check out, and where you can find the link below in my description. And the last one is the F2R Y1000. So F2Rs very famous, of course, for paper notebooks, and yeah, you maybe saw it in my video. I use a paper notebook from F2R, and it seems like they try to manufacture their own tablet within the last 3 to 4 years, and so they will bring out, I think, the tablet next year. So it's yeah, in 2025. It must be very, very rugged. So there's not a lot of specs out there yet. I just can tell you it has some 8-inch screen. It should be very bright. I'm not sure what will be the nits in the end. The good thing is that it has some 4:3 aspect ratio, so this is also perfect for notebooks. The GPS chip should be like an ultra precision one. I just can tell you what I'm reading from about this tab right now. As I told you, I don't know about the specs, but this comes all at a cost at 1,700 euro approximately. So this is quite, yeah, expensive in my opinion. But yeah, maybe it's awesome. Maybe it's the new star in this notebook or tablet notebook or digital notebook scene, what you will call it. And yeah, here you had some options, some alternatives to the Carpe Iter and the Samsung Active Tab 3. Yeah, you can check them out, and maybe it helps you out. So that's all for now, and thank you very much, and see you next time.